The moment you hear what happened inside that private fashion gala, you will understand why the entire entertainment world suddenly fell into uneasy silence. Before we begin, make sure you stay until the final moment of the story, because what unfolded between Shen Yue and Bai Lu that night was far more explosive than anyone expected, and the truth behind their confrontation may completely change how fans see the rivalry that has quietly been building for months. If you want to understand every hidden moment that took place behind the glittering curtains of that glamorous night, then keep watching and decide for yourself whose side you believe. The gala itself was meant to be one of the most elegant nights of the year. The venue was a grand glass hall glowing with gold lights and crystal reflections. Famous designers walked through the entrance beside the biggest celebrities in Asian entertainment. Cameras flashed constantly while fashion journalists whispered predictions about the next rising star of the industry. Everyone expected glamour. Everyone expected smiles. No one expected the atmosphere to turn into a silent battlefield. The guest list alone had already caused online excitement days before the event even began. Both Shen Yue and Bai Lu were confirmed to attend. On their own, each woman carried enormous influence. Shen Yue was known for her calm charm and effortless elegance, while Bai Lu was admired for her bold confidence and powerful presence. Both had millions of fans, and both had shared complicated headlines involving the same leading man, Dylan Wang. At first, the evening looked perfectly peaceful. Shen Yue arrived earlier than most guests. Her car stopped at the long red carpet, and the door slowly opened. When she stepped out, photographers immediately erupted in flashes of light. Her gown shimmered like soft moonlight under the cameras. She smiled politely and waved with quiet grace before entering the hall. Inside the gala, the music played softly, while servers moved through the room offering sparkling drinks. Designers and actors laughed together as if the entire night would pass without any controversy. But about 40 minutes later, the atmosphere shifted. Another black car arrived outside. When Bai Lu stepped onto the carpet, the reaction from the photographers was even louder. Her dress was bold and dramatic, with a deep silver shine that reflected every flash from the cameras. She walked confidently down the carpet with a smile that suggested she already knew she was the center of attention. Social media live streams exploded instantly as fans began posting side-by-side photos of the two actresses attending the same event. Inside the gala, whispers quietly spread from table to table. Some guests began glancing toward the entrance, waiting to see whether the two women would cross paths. For nearly an hour, the night remained calm. Shen Yue spent time greeting designers and posing for photos near a glass sculpture display in the center of the hall. Meanwhile, Bai Lu spoke with several fashion editors near the balcony area overlooking the city lights. They stayed on opposite sides of the venue. But fate rarely allows tension to remain separated forever. The turning point arrived when the host of the gala invited all VIP guests toward the main runway stage for a special presentation from an international designer. As the crowd slowly gathered near the runway, the space became tighter and more crowded. And that was when it happened. Shen Yue stepped forward toward the runway just as Bai Lu approached from the opposite direction. For a brief moment, neither of them noticed the other. Then their eyes met. The music from the fashion show continued playing, but the surrounding conversation around them suddenly faded into a strange, quiet tension. Guests nearby immediately sensed the change in atmosphere. Some stepped back slightly. Others discreetly lifted their phones. The two actresses stood only a few steps apart under the golden stage lights. Shen Yue remained calm at first. Her expression was composed and unreadable. Bai Lu, however, seemed less interested in pretending nothing was wrong. She tilted her head slightly and gave a short smile that many people later described as challenging. No one knows exactly who spoke first, but several witnesses later claimed that Bai Lu broke the silence. Her voice was low but sharp enough for nearby guests to hear. She reportedly asked Shen Yue whether she was enjoying the attention she always seemed to attract at events like this. Shen Yue did not immediately respond. Instead, she simply looked at Bai Lu with a steady gaze. That quiet reaction seemed to frustrate Bai Lu even more. Another sentence followed. Something about unfinished stories and people pretending to move on. By now, several guests were openly watching the exchange. The fashion show continued, but almost no one was paying attention to the models walking the runway. All eyes were focused on the two actresses standing only steps apart. Shen Yue finally responded. Her voice remained calm but firm. She told Bai Lu that public events were not the place for personal accusations. The statement might have ended the moment peacefully. But Bai Lu stepped closer. The distance between them shrank until they were only a few feet apart. One witness later described the tension as feeling like the air itself had frozen. Bai Lu reportedly said that pretending everything was normal had become exhausting, and that people deserved honesty about what really happened behind the scenes. At this point, a few guests nervously tried to move between them, but neither woman stepped away. Shen Yue spoke again. This time her voice carried a stronger tone. She reminded Bai Lu that rumors and private matters should not become public entertainment for strangers. That sentence triggered the moment that turned the quiet confrontation into something unforgettable. Bai Lu laughed. It was not a cheerful laugh. It sounded more like disbelief. She asked Shen Yue whether she truly believed the public still saw her as innocent in everything that had happened around Dylan Wang. The name alone sent a ripple of whispers through the crowd. Several guests exchanged shocked glances. Some cameras quietly started recording. Shen Yue remained standing perfectly still, but the calm expression on her face slowly changed. She stepped forward just slightly. Her voice lowered to a tone that carried both warning and dignity. She told Bai Lu that if there were misunderstandings, they could be discussed privately, but not in a crowded room filled with cameras. For a second, it seemed the confrontation might finally end. But Bai Lu shook her head. She replied that private conversations were impossible when secrets had already spread across the entire internet. The tension reached its highest point. Guests nearby described the moment as feeling like the entire gala had paused. Even the music from the runway seemed distant. Shen Yue looked directly at Bai Lu and said something that stunned the closest witnesses. She told Bai Lu that fighting for attention would never bring anyone peace, and that the industry was watching both of them closely. Her tone remained calm, but the message was unmistakable. Bai Lu stared back silently. For a long moment, neither woman spoke. Then something unexpected happened. Instead of continuing the argument, Bai Lu slowly stepped back. Her expression shifted from anger to something more complicated. She turned away from Shen Yue without another word and walked toward the balcony area where several photographers were waiting. The confrontation had lasted only a few minutes, but the entire gala buzzed with conversation afterward. Guests whispered about every sentence that had been exchanged. Clips of the moment began circulating online before the event had even ended. Fans around the world started debating who was right and who had crossed the line. Some believed Shen Yue handled the situation with remarkable calm. Others argued that Bai Lu had simply voiced frustrations that had been building for months. By the time the gala ended, the story had already exploded across social media platforms. Millions of fans were replaying the confrontation clip over and over, searching for hidden clues in every expression and gesture. And the biggest question still remains. Was this truly the end of their rivalry, or just the beginning of a far bigger conflict that the entire entertainment world will soon witness? If you want to see more hidden moments and shocking celebrity stories like this, make sure you stay connected and share your opinion, because the future of this dramatic story may depend on what the fans decide next.